Thank you, fellas. Yes, time to go to Hanamura, as this will be map number 3. And FaZe have been on a roll. One thing that Johnny had pointed out, reinforced, I do agree with, that EnVision, they're really not playing as a unit. Nope. But I do think that the credit does go to FaZe for being able to disperse them the way that they have. You saw it in Eichenwald happen, I believe, on their first attack.
Yeah, and I think the thing with FaZe is that they're such a strong team mechanically. I think that's what you saw Johnny talk about. That, like, if they get the teamwork aspect down, which I'm not saying they have bad teamwork, but if they get, like, a little bit more coordinated and they, kind of, play the ultimate game a little bit better, like, this is a team that could contend with your likes of Envy come playoff time.
That's right. All right, guys. Hanamura. See how both of these teams play this one out. It will be, I believe it will be, what is this? Yeah, EnVision on attack.
Yep.
First and foremost, FaZe will be on the defense. And they will be running here at Carpe on the Widow.
We've seen them do this before. They keep him positioned up top. He gets a lot of free shots down. Puts a ton of damage as players go through at the gate at the beginning. EnVision, at least at the beginning, it looks like they'll go with something pretty standard. I know FaZe, he'll switch off with the Widowmaker. Numlocked will probably go over to Winston. Yep, there goes Numlocked. FaZe most likely will pick up Zenyatta here. We'll see them go with Jaru and McGravy.
They're going to defense matrix Carpe. Just make sure he doesn't get, like, shot.
Yes. Yes, they will.
Yes, they will. That is what they're doing. All right, well, let's see if we can get that first initial shot there. Maybe take off one of the supports early on. And they're just going to disengage here. Carpe is going to go right up to the high ground as players are going to start to make their push in. And it seems like EnVision, they're just going to get right through the front door very quickly. Carpe's got to get a couple shots here. And the players from EnVision just aren't giving him many angles to work with, but they are going to trade off on kills.
But he can get them weak going around the corner, right? So he gets them weak. A Shadowrun goes over, finishes off one. You see the angle he's got now. Oh, he has poor Fire just trapped in this corner. He's able to get a shot in Jaru, get him slightly weak. It's just they have to wait for Fact Fiction to get back in here before they start to engage this FaZe plan. They get Spree onto the point. Just to extend this a little bit longer. Now they get the rest of the members back here. It'll be Joe Meister taking out McGravy here first. Now you'll see FaZe get aggressive. And look at the angle that Carpe has here, able to get a ton of free open shots.
And Shadowburn dashes right through Numlock. Goodbye to one of your tanks on that push. And they are going to get one tick for it. Still have a member on it for the time being. They're going to get to 42.5% here. But FaZe will stop that push right in its tracks.
Yeah, they get Fire there at the end. Somebody actually makes
someone is on it.
What's the point? Okay.
Who's this? Okay, it's going to be the Tracer here, McGravy. And
they got to be careful not to just kind of stagger in here and just get stalled out. McGravy just kind of still dancing around. Has to be careful. Jaru, though, does take out Raucus. Carpe is going to answer back. Shadowburn does have a Dragon Blade here. You hear the Transcendence come out from FaZe, so there's one support ult. You do have Fire with that sound barrier. Here comes that Dragon Blade.
Dragon Blade is out, and now it's just going to be about sweeping them away here. But EnVision, I have to commend them because I don't think any members of FaZe were aware. You even saw how Shadowburn, as he went around the corner, he just did not expect to see the Tracer. They thought they eliminated everyone from this, and they were able to stay alive here, and EnVision will get this first cap.
And Carpe, he'll switch off of Widow. He'll go over to Tracer. So we see Jaru's Genji stats. We did a head-to-head at the beginning of the series between him and Shadowburn, two of the best Genjis in North America right now. As I know EnVision, you do have Dragon Blade, you have Pulse Bomb, you just don't have any support ults. And side of FaZe Clan will have both support ults for the next fight.
Charging straight into the top, very typical. You always see folks, teams squat up and push to the top of the steps here. Carpe, though, winning out that 1v1 against McGravy. The Deaths did talk about that.
What are you going to do with that high ground, though? You don't have a 76. You don't have a McCree. See Transcendence come out here for FaZe Clan. Does not need to use the sound barrier in this fight at all. It'll be FaZe Clan winning it there on the point, but kind of go up to the high ground. You don't really give your Tracer like who really is going to have the opportunity to do a ton of damage from there as they take out FaZe. And okay, so Fire, he's going to get called out as well. Both supports now will fall. Wonder if they try and push in and try and demech Sani here. They get him a little bit weak, then they back out. Not going to get too aggressive here. Yeah. They do earn some charge, some ultimate. Shadowburn getting closer to the Dragon Blade. So, Spree will have the self-destruct. You'll have Prime and Rage. You're going to get a Pulse Bomb here shortly as well because We get Carpe and Shadowburn just going on the hunt here on the flank.
Yeah, and they know that, you know, potentially they will be going over to the middle, so that's going to have to probably make them double back here, I would imagine, unless they decide to, you know, press up and get in their faces. The push has come through, and here comes McGravy. He did drop that pulse bomb, but he didn't get a kill with it. 3 kills on the other side for FaZe, forcing out EnVision from this fight here. And that basically is going to be another clean stop for FaZe as they went up to the high ground yet again and didn't really get much out of that one.
Yeah, this next fight's going to be crazy, though, because you're going to have both support ults on both sides. You're going to have Dragon Blade on both sides. I know Carpe does have a pulse bomb. I think he could potentially make a difference, right? He lands a pulse bomb onto FaZe, forces the Transcendence out early. You can't combo that with the Dragon Blade. So.
They know where they're going. They saw them pushing up to the top right again. And Carpe, he's just going to pop up and leave a little present for EnVision, leave a little present for them, I should say. And here he goes. He drops the pulse bomb down. Doesn't get a kill for that one, though. It's going to have to force some of the members, have to push forward here. And now the fight will ensue as the Transcendence will come out here for Raucus, but EnVision are going to have a lot of support ults to work with, too. But no, they're going to lose out on FaZe here. So they're just going to drop the beat. That should keep them going in this fight here for the time being. But FaZe, they're going to respond in turn with a sound barrier of their own. Carpe with 2 kills now, and this is yet again FaZe stopping this one, but they put a lot of ults in that fight.
Yeah, and that's the thing. EnVision in the next fight, you hold on. Look, it isn't ideal that FaZe falls, but you hold on to the Transcendence. You don't use anything else. You force FaZe to use both support ultimates, so now they have nothing to deal with this Dragon Blade when it comes out from Jaru.
But if you are Shadowburn, you're just going to wait for that Transcendence to go down, and then you use the Blade. See Genjis do this quite a bit. Here comes the Transcendence now. Jaru with the blade of his own to open it up as he gets the kill onto Joe Meister. And now Shadowburn's going to use his Dragon Blade on the other side. Meanwhile, you're going to have Spreek and Carpe just lining up the kill feed, getting a substantial amount of kills. And while you were able to push in and use a couple ults in that fight and open it up with a kill there onto Joe Meister, it will be FaZe that managed to stand tall.
Yeah, I mean, they lose Joe Meister, but FaZe, they just kind of like back up all the way to their spawn. And EnVision dives in so deep with the blade that you're able to get like one swipe, you take out Joe Meister, you go for another one, and everyone is so far back. You get a self-destruct, you get your own blade, you're able to win the fight if you're FaZe.
And that Transcendence just died down, and Shadowburn just had the opening that he wanted in that play. But now it will be EnVision tackling the high ground again, it seems.
Well, now they have Jaru on the 76. So you have somebody on the high ground that can put down tons of damage. Seeing how they play around this. As Carpe, this series, he has just gone uncontested on Tracer. Like,
he's been having his way with him.
Every time we go on board with him, he's just in the back lines, nobody looking at him. He's able to put down a ton of damage.
Ooh.
So Fact Fiction gets pretty low here. They're able to DMX Spree.
Yeah, this is not looking good. He's going to have to use that Primal Rage here to just keep him going in the fight now, as members of EnVision are going to get onto the point. Fact Fiction with the kill onto FaZe there. So not bad at all, but they're going to get some more kills to boot. And now you're sitting at 1 minute, 17 seconds here. You do have the sound barrier going into this next fight. So you have some tools here to work with. But FaZe, I mean, they've been able to hold this one off time and time again.
This combo of Shadowburn on the Genji and Carpe on the Tracer is looking real scary right about now. And you see Shadowburn dive onto Jaru, put down some damage, dashes through one, Carpe there to help finish them off. EnVision, you'll have a sound barrier, pulse bomb, self-destruct. You're going to get attack visor here as well. FaZe Clan, though, they're fully stocked in terms of support ults, and you have Shadowburn's Dragon Blade. We'll see what use they get out of it. So it looks like now a different route coming in here for EnVision. So we've seen them do a lot of attack towards that high ground, now going the opposite way.
McGravy needs to be careful as well not to get picked off by the supports in the back line. That will open up the fight for FaZe quite swimmingly here. He's going to be very low on health, and he is going to get picked off, though. Sound barrier comes through as they look to re-engage in a fight. And remember, FaZe Clan will have that defender's advantage there with the spawn, and Shadowburn will cut through two. He's going to have Carpe there to follow up as well. And now with 10 seconds left, you got to scramble. You have to get on the point.
Yeah, and they're able to get rid of FaZe before he can get his Transcendence. Was at 99%. Nope.
No, and Carpe just dancing.
He's dancing. He knows.
Throwing shapes. Throwing the shapes.
Look at Spree. He's doing like a little bit of a worm kind of action there. Toss that DPI into the sky and just start jiggling around there.
Yeah,
sure. Why not?
Sure. Oh, man. Well, FaZe. What great defensive holds that they have had here. Big shout out to the DPS for this team. Shadowburn and Carpe lighting up the kill feed time and time again. Man, very impressed here with this squad.
And it's like something we saw Jaru and McGravy do earlier in the season, right? Like how sick they were on the Genji and Tracer combo. Right now, it is Shadowburn and Carpe dominating this match. So we'll see EnVision on D. McGrady looks like he'll be playing Tracer here as Jarul's go with Genji. So you think is a mirror comp on both sides. So Fire is likely to go Lucio. And we'll see if EnVision can hold on D. Fantastic second point hold there from FaZe Clan. So we're just getting a little bit of a view here of Hanamura. A little bit of the scenic routes on the right-hand side.
It's pretty.
Is that where Hanzo practiced his arrows here, shooting on those little things?
Probably.
Yeah, shooting those hay bales.
Yeah, some hard targets.
A nice well there.
It's a that fish statue is fantastic, actually. I want that in my living room. My wife will definitely want that. She'll agree.
I enjoy that fish statue. I like looking at it.
Yeah? So you come over to my house.
I don't exactly want to own one. Yeah, like I would not be, like if one of my friends wanted to own one like you, I wouldn't be upset about it. I'd probably come by, say that's cool, and then I would just go about my business.
Your life will move on. Matt, you're so insightful. You know?
I'm just a realist, Alex. I know you're never going to own that fish statue.
Well, I disagree. Now I'm going to buy one just because.
Okay. Well, next time I'm over.
I wish you guys saw his face.
Next time I'm over, if you don't have a fish statue, I'm going to be very disappointed. That exact one, a replica.
A replica of that fish statue. I'll find a way.
FaZe is now attacking. Carpe already getting into the enemy backline. Is just trying to get a feel right here. They dropped Shadowburn at the beginning, so it looks like he was trying to escape over the wall. Got taken out. But here's Carpe, though. He's pushed all the way into the back already. Let's see if anyone goes back to deal with him, if they just kind of let him run rampant.
So, well, they know he's here.
Well, I'm not exactly...
They saw shots went back, unless that came from
I'm not exactly
FaZe.
sold on that.
Yeah, it seems like they're just not aware. He's just waiting to see where some of the supports are. That's all he's looking for. Now they're going to push in, but already, well, he's like, well, I'll just go on the point, try and force a couple of them back, maybe get a free tick. This is the 1v1 battle that the Deaths were alluding to before. McGravy versus Carpe, and McGravy, if he's able to come out on top here, be pretty good for him.
But look, there's 3 kills that go in favor of FaZe at the beginning of the gate, right? You get a few members here low.
Yep.
They may be able to make something out of this. Ooh, I was going to say, if he could stay alive and you had players coming out the spawn, maybe they're able to make it back a little bit faster. You do get Saini, though, so you're not going to have the Diva here.
Very disjointed push from FaZe, I have to say. And now they're just going to be able to walk right in.
I mean, they have such a huge advantage in terms of spawn, right? It's just McGravy. He's able to take out Raucus. It's a pretty big kill as he's getting close to a Transcendence. You're going to have both supports here fall for FaZe at the beginning. A Transcendence that comes out for EnVision. You may not even have needed it. Carpe, though, still alive. Fact Fiction using Primal Rage. They've already gotten a tick.
That's right, and that being said, you're still going to keep your supports alive here as well. They're getting a lot of kills. Free does get demech, though. But you won't have that support on the point. They do get that tick, as you mentioned before, Matt. And that's just going to have to force FaZe back. So overall, they were able to make something happen there.
Yeah, but now FaZe, though, they have the Dragon Blade. They have both support ults here. You're going to have a self-destruct. They're in a prime spot to take point A.
Lots of toys. Let's see how FaZe play with them. It's going to be very interesting. There goes the Transcendence now. I think Saini was just looking to try and push a couple of those folks back there. Gonna have a sound barrier for EnVision here. As Fact Fiction does get the kill onto Jaru. So it's gonna tip the odds in their favor. Shadowburn's gonna be dangerously low as well, but the sound barrier is gonna keep him alive in the fight. He will also have that Dragon Blade. Let's see when he decides to use it, but McGravy with the Pulse Bomb doesn't get a kill with that one though, as he lingers around the front door. There goes Shadowburn, Dragon Blade in hand.
I was gonna say, we still haven't seen anybody get on the point. Now finally.
There you go.
We see FaZe get on the point.
Just waiting for the kills to come in, you know, Matt?
Yeah, a little bit of a team deathmatch there for 30 seconds.
Gotta death ball it.
Now we see FaZe get on the point. 5 minutes now to get 1 tick on point B. You can take a look. Shadowburn's Dragon Blade. These never get old to me.
No.
Just so good.
Never. Goodbye. It's going to be bye to the Diva. Just shredding through them. But all right, so now as we set our sights here for point B, you have FaZe that golden tick right there, the golden little triangle, if they get to that, it will be a wrap. It will be GG. They will take the series 3-0 here. Still got to play out that fourth map, though. But for EnVision, they can look to hold them back here as best they possibly can. It's going to be a struggle, though, but they do have that defender's advantage. The Diva Bomb, though, comes through, and that's going to force people away. They have to jump on to the point as quickly as they possibly can, but the kills are going in favor of FaZe. You have more members, and that's going to force out that Primal Rage just to keep them going, and I think this is just where, you know, FaZe realize, like, we can continue to push this fight and continue to build up on ults, or we just be smart about this one, bide our opportunity, bide our time here.
Well, you see Jaru use the Dragon Blade. That is effectively going to end things. Carpe takes Numlocked out with a Pulse Bomb, but it goes for naught. So you do see EnVision hold. They do use a Dragon Blade. You had a Transcendence use. They used Primal Rage. FaZe, it was a very nice push, so I don't know if you caught it, but they had Spree going up top with Raucus and Joemeister, and then they had Fact Fiction, Carpe, and Shadowburn on the left-hand side. And Carpe's in like a 1v1 duel with McGravy, and he doesn't know that Fact Fiction and Shadowburn are around the corner. He comes out a little bit too far. They deal with McGravy. They get right on the point, which forces the members from EnVision down from the high ground, and then they just kind of collapsed on him. Now it'll be FaZe Clan, though, with both support ults here. They do not have a Dragon Blade. No Pulse Bomb to work with.
EnVision going to have to deal with this one swiftly, because they just don't want to get caught off guard. And here comes the sound barrier. Look for that Transcendence any minute now as well. Raucus has that in the docket, and he's going to go ahead and use that one here to maintain themselves in the fight. Carpe with another Pulse Bomb, and Zenyatta, well, he's just going to get knocked down, and he really won't even be a factor in the fight as he gets wiped out. But still, though, the kills are coming in the side of EnVision. They're holding this. It's been tough. They have a lot of time, FaZe Clan. So EnVision, any win here is huge. And you get them to burn those two support ults, and they don't win the game.
Yeah, so now I think the interesting thing to look at is, you know, Shadowburn earns himself the Blade. You have Transcendence on the side of EnVision. You're going to have Dragon Blade. You're going to have a lot of ultimates here. FaZe Clan, you have a few pushes here, I think. You can kind of, toss if you want to try and get some ultimates out from the side of EnVision. The only thing then is that you're kind of putting yourself against the clock, right? You really got to make one push worth it. You see Carpe there going on the flank, has a Pulse Bomb, goes up top, connects on the fire with it.
That's going to open up the fight nicely here, but Jaru just wants to tip the odds in their favor as best he possibly can. Able to demech Spree as well as eliminate Joemeister here. And members of FaZe got onto point just for a little while. You have that Primal Rage Winston, Fact Fiction, just looking to disorient onto the point here. But so far, so good. The Diva Bomb now comes into effect. Maybe this is the opportunity that we're looking for, but the Diva Bomb on the other side here for EnVision, forcing folks back, is now just going to be EnVision just trying to see if they can stabilize here, but with Shadowburn and the Dragon Blade cuts through a couple members there of the opposition. And now the fight winds down just a tad as Spree, he's going to be dangerously low on health as well as Sani, and they do manage to make the DMAC happen though.
But you have the supports from FaZe coming back into the fight. There's a Transcendence. It's going to be a sound barrier from the side of EnVision. It's going to force FaZe back just slightly. Carpe still just trying to keep them in this. Gets onto the point. Has to back down though. Shadowburn's still there for FaZe Clan. Trying to extend this. Joemeister with the sound barrier. So now you do have a little bit of an advantage here for FaZe because you have that sound barrier. You don't have anything to combo with it, nothing like a Dragon Blade or maybe a Pulse Bomb to get a first pick. But you know for sure going into this next fight, there's no Primal Rage, there's no Self-Destruct, there's no Pulse Bomb, and there's no support ults. So you have a very good idea of your FaZe Clan. Maybe you don't see them go for that high ground. Maybe you see them go for that left-hand side or straight up the middle, try and get on to the point and then force that fight down there with the sound barrier.
Scary thing too is going to be when the sound barrier is used, as Jaru just waited out. I mean, do they know that Jaru has the blade? Surely they are aware.
They have to have an idea.
Yeah, they have to have that idea. It's just going to be a matter when does Jaru decide to use it? Does he wait for it? Well, there goes the sound barrier on FaZe, but the Dragon Blade comes out as well. They are able to get a kill there, actually a couple kills for FaZe, but they have to wipe them out completely here. Remember, that golden tick is all they need to get. Primal Rage, keeping them in this fight now. 20 seconds left on the clock. They're able to win this one out. It'll be huge for FaZe. They will take the series. The Diva Bomb, though, is dropped down. And they're just going to clear out some of the members of EnVision. Shadowburn with the blade. Transcendence comes through, and that's going to look to keep them alive onto the point here. And the pressure is on for FaZe, as now we're going to be in overtime, and I just don't think they have the players to be able to win out this fight here.
Raucus is just picking players off with the Widowmaker. That's going to be 3 for Raucus.
Ooh.
As Carpe trying to stay alive. He will fall. Both tanks get on the point for EnVision here. Right now, looks like they will hold on D.
Well,
so
they're going to jump in.
up, he's instantly dead. So
just got drained. Shadowburn also just looking to stall this one out. I mean, these little stalls can play a big role here, but I just don't see that one.
They have nothing, though.
Really
there's
happening.
nothing they can come back with. As
it's a draw.
We do see EnVision get a hold. It will be a draw in the end, so the series will go over to FaZe Clan in a 3-1 fashion. I know for a second there, I thought FaZe was going to be able to take it. You actually, you caught it a little bit in the free cam, but Fact Fiction is using his Primal Rage, and he's just bashing FaZe back into the spawn, which prevented him from coming out and using that Transcendence, and they just were not able to pick up the kills on the point before he could come out with that Transcendence and make an impact. He finally gets through the doorway, uses the Transcendence, and they're able to stay alive.
That being said, though, FaZe will get 3 points regardless, because when you draw out, both teams get a point. So either way, FaZe won, well, they win. FaZe draws, well, they win. It doesn't really matter here. Now we're going to be going over to our 4th map. And, I mean, if you're EnVision, I guess you're kind of, sort of okay. Like you know, you just want to get map wins. I mean, you're still safe. It doesn't matter.
I think the desk will take a look at the standings going into tomorrow. But I believe coming into the match, EnVision had 15 map wins and FNRGFE had 12. So if you can kind of get this map win, right, you don't win the series, but you put yourself in a position where, you know, obviously FNRGFE, they can only get 4 wins.
Yeah.
They can get up to 16. You can get to 17. So you pretty much solidify that number 3 spot.
Yeah, you can't save yourself from facing off against Envy in the playoffs. But anyway, guys, we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, map number 4, see how this all closes out for today. folks, and oh, I forgot I had a cough. I had a nasty cough, and I had my cough button on. Sorry, guys. All right, we are back. It is the final map of the day here. FaZe have won the series, as you see right here, 3-1, but we're going to be making our way to Dorado.
It's the first time we've seen Dorado in a very long time. I feel like all we've casted really is Gibraltar.
I'm excited. NA. Love Dorado.
I love Dorado, one of my favorite maps. We'll be jumping into this one in just a second. It looks like FaZe will be on defense. You see, it was a draw in game number 3, which results in a point for both sides. So EnVision, they do get a map win. They win this one. They lose the series. Sucks. But you put yourself out of reach from FNRG FE, which is good in the long term, just in terms of you can't really drop down into that 4th spot. So we'll see when the game gets started, if EnVision can get this last map win. Yeah,
a map win is very important here for EnVision, given how tomorrow could potentially play out. I know that there was I was watching some of the community members online talk about this upcoming game, saying that, oh, it sucks to not see Rogue make it to playoffs, and everyone's just kind of assuming. Meanwhile, Mangachu's like, no, we're going to give it our all. So I don't know. It's going to be an intense game tomorrow.
That would be the craziest turns of events. Yeah. If Renegade just comes into tomorrow and just like 4-0s them, just like, I don't think it'll happen.
That'd be wild stuff.
I think FNRG FE has just been they've been a team on the rise throughout the season. Like, I feel like Buds has been playing really well over the last 2 weeks or so. I think that's definitely added a lot to the team. Clockwork, a very strong player. The tanks as well, good front line. So I think all in all, FNRG FE, they have a very solid team. So I think they're coming in tomorrow, clearly the favorites going up against Renegades. It's the position that you want to be in, right? Where you're able to control your own destiny.
Indeed it is. Because, just want to control your own destiny. Top tier observation.
You would. I mean, ideally, you would not want to be in the position that Rogue is in, where they have to
rely on Renegades.
Have Renegades
to control their destiny.
Take 4 games.
I was gonna make a Destiny joke there, but just couldn't quite find it.
You couldn't think of a joke, really?
Man, no.
I'm shocked.
It's a shame. It's a sad reality here. So I guess 6 weeks. I'm just done.
You shot all your bullets. Yeah, you're done. There's no more ammo in the gun.
I got nothing left to give here, folks.
You've given your all, Alex.
Yeah. Well,
that's what's important.
Hope people kind of, sort of, maybe appreciated it. All right, here we go.
I did.
Thanks, buddy. EnVision are going to be on the attack here. And they're going to be, Saney got dangerously close to getting a headshot on that. But now he's just going to swap out here over to the Diva. We're going to see Jaru and McGravy. McGravy's dead, so never mind on that one, though. That's actually going to be 2 kills here for FaZe. So EnVision is going to have to back up just a tad. Wait for their teammates off the spawn.
FaZe getting very aggressive here. Pushing them all the way back. Now it's going to be EnVision now fighting out of their spawn. FaZe, they built up some ult charge during this. They're getting closer to a self-destruct. It's a good start there for FaZe Clan. We'll see if the point of attack changes here for EnVision, and it does. They go to the left staircase. They catch Shadowburn out of position. They're able to take him out.
Yeah, so now that you go into this fight, essentially with that advantage, it's going to give you free reign to push the payload here.
Oh, well, you lose your main tanks. So
that's true.
Now it definitely changes. Raucus hits a few members with a nice biotic grenade. Carpe just dashes in, taking out members of EnVision. So this has not been a great start for EnVision, essentially being spawn camped here.
I honestly thought that they were...
Carpe's been sick tonight.
What's insane is how, FaZe, they lose a man, but then immediately they're just able to turn the tides right back in their favor. And now with the payload being stuck here, it's in a bit of an awkward spot.
I mean, if you're EnVision, I guess the best thing here is that you've built up towards a Dragon Blade for Jaru. McGravy switches off of McCree, goes over to Tracer. It'll be Carpe, though, who takes out FaZe. So, you lose your Zenyatta.
Carpe, my God.
Dude, he is just cutting through them.
This is just, it's insane. See the way Carpe's been playing this whole series, a man on a mission. And he's been on fire. And he literally is on fire in the game right now.
Raucus, he's going to have nano, so you have a combination here. You could do a nano blade. You want it if you're FaZe Clan. EnVision, they'll have a sound barrier. See if they have to use the sound barrier, just like get around the corner and get out of their spawn relatively. So, see Shadowburn up top.
Oh, God.
Trying both supports completely alone.
Oh, dear.
Both supports completely alone. Where's any help?
Yeah, you had Numblock who engaged up top and just died. It was just nothing to be able to get out of that one. Supports were all by their lonesome.
You can't make it that easy for FaZe, though. Like,
no, he didn't even have to put Blade into that. He simply just went through and shuriken, dash.
He dashed through both of them. He had Fact Fiction there. You're able to take that fight relatively easily. FaZe's getting very low yet again, so he will drop. A nice bionic grenade again from Rockets. Connects like 3 or 4 members. So now EnVision just... They're not even able to get to the
I feel like EnVision just aren't really like looking at their surroundings, you know? Like, it just feels like there's like, guys, go to the payload quickly. Wait a minute, we're all dead. And it just keeps happening.
Yeah, FaZe used the nano boost there, so you don't have that, but I mean, only 60 seconds remaining. EnVision hasn't even gotten an opportunity to use any of their ultimates.
Oh, dear.
It's in awful spots, and looks like they connect with Numlocked with a sleep dart there from range.
And a biotic nade. Yeah, just put him to sleep here. FaZe have just had so much presence. This is...
Fact Fiction jumped on them again. FaZe is forced to use Transcendence here early.
Okay, well, they are able to take out Shadowburn, though. So at the very least, they do manage to make this one into a 6v5. Well, they do manage also to take out Joemeister. So now you're in a bit of a better position here. If you are EnVision, you get the kills. Now you can push this payload through. But you only have 20 seconds here to work with. And for FaZe, they do have some tools at their disposal.
For EnVision, though, you have your Dragon Blade, you have your Pulse Bomb, Self-Destruct, you have a Sound Barrier as well. Joemeister with Sound Barrier for FaZe Clan. We'll see if they can keep Rockets alive long enough. Oh no, he does fall there. Maybe you kept him alive long enough, you can get a Nano Blade here out, but does not look likely. The members from FaZe Clan seem to be falling. Carpe, though, gets onto the payload. It's got Fire Week, you have Spree launching a Self-Destruct here. Trying to just keep players away from the payload. EnVision, though, still able to move it. They have not invested the Sound Barrier or the Blade in just yet.
No, they have not. They haven't had a reason to do so. It seems like, you know, all signs are pointing to them getting point A here. I don't see anyone going into contest. No, they're just going to back up. And also just EnVision, good job out of them. As soon as they were able to clear them out of the underpass there, they just got really aggressive, and they never allowed FaZe to get that fight in the marketplace. They just had full control of it. So far cry of what we saw earlier in the game when it seemed as if EnVision were just getting caught off guard constantly.
It is still a very good hold from FaZe, though.
Yes.
And now that they've built up some ultimates here, we'll see what EnVision decides to do, whether they try to engage with that blade. Here comes Shadowburn over the top, Nano Blade.
Yeah, but just in the nick of time, though, you're going to have the Sound Barrier that will be dropped by Fire. And then Jaru also will go in using his Dragon Blade, clearing out 3 members, 4 members as well. The 5th take a seat. And that is just going to be all the members of FaZe falling down. And now, as they make their way around the bend here, getting ready for this next push. And Shadowburn used his Dragon Blade there, didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, and Rockets, he's going to switch from Ana over to Zen. So you make this change if you're FaZe Clan, you just use your Nano Boost. And I think here you kind of realize that, you know, FaZe, he uses Transcendence here. You see the Primal Rage coming out from FaZe Clan. It'll be a Pulse Bomb coming in from McGravy. Numlock able to finish off Rockets. You're able to get rid of Joemeister as well. You still have not used this Sound Barrier if you're FaZe Clan. From what it looks like, at least, you're kind of positioning yourself for like one last great attempt, right? Because what, you're at a minute to go. You know the other team has no support ults. You're going to have that Sound Barrier. You're most likely going to get close to another Dragon Blade here if the fight extends. You know the other team has nothing to work with. I think that's what FaZe is playing around. One really good fight here with that Sound Barrier.
Let's see how the engagement plays out for FaZe here. Diva Bomb. Self-destruct, pushing everyone back. Numlock opens up with a kill against Rockets. Does Joe use it? Yes. He's going to use the Sound Barrier here as McGravy continues to live in the back lines. They're forcing back some of the members. Carpe able to get the kill onto Numlock. So no more tanking. Carpe with the Pulse Bomb onto FaZe. Again, you mentioned it before, just the impact that this man has made for this team here. Really forcing back a lot of these members from EnVision, getting kills. And now you come down to a very interesting fight here with 15 seconds remaining.
Yeah, well, you still have Saini D-Mech. They finally take him out. So now you're looking like he's going to come back into the game. 3-4 seconds. They have to go. Fact Fiction getting low. Going to fall back. The pressure needs to come in from EnVision. They do have the Dragon Blade. They're going to take out Fact Fiction at the beginning of the fight, and they get back to the cart.
Well, the Diva Bomb, self-destruct from Spree, looking to just force some people back, and Spree's able to kill Jaru, who had the blade out at that time. Overtime ticking out now. And this is going to be FaZe holding it before they were able to get to point B. 1 on the board, a lot of progress made, but they were able to hold out here. Now they get ready for their attack.
It's such a great long game plan from FaZe to hold on to that sound barrier, because they hold on to all of it from the first point, like all the way through almost like the second point of the game. They knew that if they could have taken a few fights, right, they burn the Primal Rage, you burn, you know, both your support ults, your Transcendence, your sound barrier, you get them to use a Dragon Blade. At the end, you're like, okay, like, we'll take our chances, like one fight. We know they don't have much. We have the sound barrier. You get Shadowburn with his blade. Doesn't have to use it there. Uses it towards the end. You start to get a little bit of an ult advantage if you're FaZe clan. Very smart play by FaZe to hold on to that sound barrier.
Playing that 4D chess, man.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what it's about.
That's what it's all about.
So that's what it's all about.
4D chess. Easy. Anyway, here we go. FaZe now on the attack. And, you know, can we just talk about EnVision's first couple pushes there? I mean, my goodness.
There's nothing to talk about. What do you want to talk about? They're getting spawn killed.
But what a way for them to, you know, rally back after just getting like rocked on their jaw like that.
I think the craziest thing is, like, it looked like a team that was like all over the place, like really spreading out. As soon as they started to go together, they had a lot of ultimates to use. They started to get rolling.
And that's what the desk was talking about, right? That this team, when they play together, they do very well. They succeed. It's a team game. You know, you want to play as a team. It's just because you see the potential of the squad, and we've seen what they brought to the table all season long. So, you know, going into playoffs, you have to look at your strengths and really maximize them. And especially in this situation, you need this map win, or else there's a high probability that you will be facing off against Envy at the opening of the playoffs in October.
Very true. Will be FaZe on offense. Nothing surprising over there. EnVision, you'll have McGravy play 76. Jaru will play the Genji. Just won't have an A. You'll have FaZe on the Zenyatta, so it's the only thing you could have considered. Numlock gets pretty low. They do DMAX Spree. I mean, it's not a huge deal. Spree goes right back to the spawn, switches off. Then he'll go back, get another max.
Yeah, he'll be back in the fight in the nick of time here. Still no one on the payload just yet as they're looking for the pick. They're looking for the kill. That give them that slight upper hand here. And Carpe, he will certainly be the playmaker to make that one happen, as he has a couple members here just already. Just have to be very careful. And Sani, he had to go back and support them as well, because they just need that defense matrix to maintain. Basically a lot of looks that Sani has to give here. It feels like he's playing a little bit of double duty, but they are getting the kills. And this is going to prevent FaZe from being able to make this push happen here.
Now EnVision holding on the defensive end, very close to the FaZe spawn. Carpe trying to go on a little sneaky move underneath the ground. Very smart, though. I mean, the way EnVision, you know, just Sani getting back there and realizing I have to go and support these guys. If we lose one of these supports, it could be a wrap. Without a doubt, FaZe will have Transcendence in the next fight. You'll have a self-destruct as well. Nobody on FaZe really building up towards anything except Carpe with a pulse bomb. So, see from Jaru's POV. Goes up top. Sani will drop back Fiction. Shadowburn, though, takes out FaZe. You won't get used to the Transcendence here. So I know it's not the worst thing in the world for EnVision. You see the cart still has not made a ton of progress. They'll have that great support ult for the next fight.
That's right, and they're able to DMAX Spree. Still, though, the spawn is going to be relatively close here for FaZe. So before you have FaZe in the fight, you would have had your tanks back in the action here. They're just going to play this one back. As the Diva Bomb's going to take out 2 members there. 3 members, or excuse me, that would be the DMAC onto Spree. Apologies. That's basically a kill at that point. And EnVision, well, this is just going to be all them. They're basically doing the same thing that happened to them in their first attack.
Yeah, now you start to see EnVision building up a nice amount of ultimates. Everybody with one outside of Sani. We just saw the self-destruct get used. FaZe Clan, you have a Transcendence. You're going to have a Dragon Blade. And you're going to have Sound Barrier. What do you decide to do? You invest them now, and you don't win. You may not have another crack at it. You may just get full health here.
Well, they kill FaZe, so you won't get the Transcendence. I wouldn't be shocked if they use the Sound Barrier any second now. Joe Meister dies, so no Sound Barrier over there. See if anyone decides to pop those support ults. And so far, it will be Fact Fiction and Carpe with some kills of their own. And they don't invest the ults into that fight there, X.
You hold on to them, because, I mean, still a minute and 15. And when everybody gets up for EnVision, you'll be able to get another good fight on the payload. You expect a lot of ultimates to be used by FaZe there as well. You win it if you're EnVision, most likely you win the map. So we'll see EnVision now engage. See what they decide to do. Maybe they lead the way with the Sound Barrier plus Dragon Blade. FaZe size again before you can get a use of the Transcendence. They're going to use the Sound Barrier here as well.
That will certainly sting for EnVision. You won't have that support ult. And now you're going to have Shadowburn doing what he does best. Slicing and dicing. Taking out 2 members of EnVision. So close to getting that first point there. It seems like they are going to be able to make this one happen. Clearing them out completely. And you still manage to save yourself the Sound Barrier here in the fight.
I mean, I guess positive for EnVision is that you still have Transcendence, you still have Blade, you still have Tac Visor.
Similarly to what we saw from Joe Meister in the last game, right? Joe died a couple times, didn't really get an opportunity to use that Sound Barrier. Kind of a similar situation here. I just don't know if it's going to work out for FaZe, considering the Transcendence. I mean, that dies down pretty quickly.
The only thing is that the difference between the last half and this half is, maybe Carpe can get behind and force one of those support ults out. There's Joe Meister. He's going to use the Sound Barrier to keep 3 members of FaZe alive here. They're trying to push the payload. Maybe that tries to force out the Transcendence or a Blade, something of that nature. EnVision, they hold on to it. They don't invest any of those ultimates, still holding on here. Most likely, kind of what we saw from FaZe. You kind of hold on to those ultimates. The issue is FaZe has a little bit more time to work with here.
I was going to say that they have more time, so that makes this hold very difficult to do. I think they really just want to see how fast Fire can get to that Sound Barrier, because that will keep them, at the very least, they can layer those ults, right?
I mean, maybe you're able to win this next fight if you're EnVision with just using the Blade or Tac Visors, and then you can hold on to that Transcendence. There comes the Tac Visor. Oh, and there goes the Tac Visor. Fact Fiction takes out McGravy with ease. Now you see a lot of ults being invested here. It's going to be the Dragon Blade that comes out. It's going to be Transcendence as well from the side of EnVision. So we see FaZe Clan, they'll back up. Carpe, though, still here doing some damage. Gets Jaru weak. Spree's going to go up after him.
That's just going to kind of stagger things a little bit here as well, right? If they can maybe get another kill onto the Tracer, maybe, get a free D-Mech. I mean, I'm being pretty ambitious here, but FaZe will have to back away. 1 minute, 10 seconds on the clock.
Well, here's the thing for FaZe. You will have Dragon Blade, you'll have Transcendence, Joe Meister 50% to a Sound Barrier. You get something with this Dragon Blade, and you're able to use the Transcendence, you stay alive a little bit longer. There comes the self-destruct out of Saney.
He's in the back.
You do have Fire with his Sound Barrier. Here will be Shadowburn. It's going to force the Sound Barrier out. Not the worst thing in the world, because look, you're going to hold on to your own Transcendence. You're going to get very close towards your own Sound Barrier. You're going to have 2 support ults versus 1 coming up here very shortly. You only have 40 seconds left, though.
Time is not their friend. EnVision, very close. Being able to hold this one. A map win could be the difference maker in who they face going into the playoffs at the Blizzard Arena. 25 seconds now, X. Let's see who will come out on top. And there goes the Transcendence to open up the fight.
And a pulse bomb from Carpe on the FaZe. He's the closest to a support ult for EnVision, so you're not going to have a Transcendence of your own. Here comes the Sound Barrier, as now FaZe is starting to pick up the kills. They're going to be able to take out McGravy here. It's about the last one on the point. Fire also kind of lurking towards the back.
Push.
Fire still behind.
Fire's still there. He's still alive, but that Diva Bomb's going to force back all the members of EnVision. They have to push in right now. The Transcendence there. Prayers. Let's see if they're able to stay alive.
Jaru's got a Blade coming off the spawn.
Oh, the Jaru, he's going to have to come up with the big play. The Blade is coming out as well. Joe Meister gets cut down to size. Saney gets the kill onto Shadowburn here. We're going to be in overtime, folks. But Jaru, he's going to get killed. Primal Rage, knock it back. Members of EnVision, and they're right there. They make it happen. A wave to boot. And FaZe will get the win 2-1. And they will win the series 4-1. Man, what a closeout there. You just came out with the Transcendence. You tried to save that one. It looked very possible at the tail end of it, though.
It's a big Primal Rage. So you see a few kills. I mean, at this point in the game, it's just Fact Fiction and Carpe on the cart for FaZe Clan. Everybody coming off the spawn. I believe Raucus switches over to 76. He gets 1 kill back in the action. And FaZe able to make it work there towards the end.
And you just get good value out of a Primal Rage. It's always a pleasure to see that ultimate ability used the way that Fact Fiction was able to do so there. Great game across the board. EnVision, though, they don't get that map win. So
they get 1 overall for the series. So we'll take a look at the standings. I know that FNRG FE Renegades game is going to be huge tomorrow.
That's right, folks. Well, for now, that's going to do it for myself and Mr. X. Let's go ahead and send it over to Chris Puckett and the rest of the desk to talk about that match.